GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, I'm Renata Solano. Tonight we'll look at the LA County Fire Rescue Team heading to Columbia after a deadly quake, a settlement over concealed carry permit delays, and a quick traffic update on minor roadwork snarls. Also, a spotlight on Atwater Village's LA mattress store sound baths. Over to you, Bennett.
The Hammer Museum will host Jazz Pop tonight, featuring Malachi Whitson beginning at 7 p.m. with free admission for members and discounted tickets for students.
The concert will be held in the museum's outdoor courtyard, offering a blend of contemporary jazz, electronic beats, and visual art installations throughout the evening.
Public transit routes LA Metro Expo line and Bus 97 stop directly by the museum, and a food truck lineup will serve tacos and vegan options.
We've got a vibrant evening ahead, Malachi Whitson's Jazz Pop at the Hammer Museum, and many more stories coming up, so let's begin. Here are our top stories. Los Angeles County Fire Department's Urban Search and Rescue Team has been deployed to Columbia to assist ongoing recovery after a deadly earthquake struck the region earlier this week. Julian Mercado has the full story.
The Los Angeles County Fire Department's Urban Search and Rescue Team has been dispatched to Columbia, joining an international effort after a powerful quake struck the nation earlier this week. Officials say the earthquake caused multiple fatalities and left many communities buried under rubble. The California team will work alongside local responders, focusing on locating survivors, providing medical assistance, and clearing debris from collapsed structures. Their deployment follows similar offers of aid from other foreign rescue groups, all aimed at accelerating recovery in the hardest-hit areas. Supplies and equipment have already been airlifted to the disaster zone to support the mission. The squad is expected to remain on the ground for several days as they coordinate with Colombian authorities and assess ongoing needs. Julian Mercado, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
The U.S. Department of Justice will finalize a settlement today with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department over a lawsuit accusing the agency of unlawfully delaying concealed carry firearm permits. The suit contended that the department's slow processing infringed on the Second Amendment, leaving applicants waiting months for approvals. Under the agreement, the sheriff's office commits to overhaul its permit review system, set clear timelines, and provide regular reporting to the Justice Department. Officials say the changes aim to eliminate backlogs and ensure applicants receive decisions within a reasonable period. The settlement also includes a monetary component to cover legal costs and fund training for staff handling the applications. County officials emphasize that the deal does not admit wrongdoing, but reflects a shared interest in improving public safety and constitutional compliance. The agreement will be filed with the federal court later this afternoon.
Federal judge in Los Angeles is poised to curtail the practice of warrantless immigration arrests that have driven the nation's mass deportation effort. The ruling, expected to arrive this week, would require authorities to obtain a judicial warrant before detaining individuals in immigration sweeps, a shift from the broad, no-paper approach the agency has relied on for years. Advocates say the change could protect families from sudden separation, while immigration officials argue it may slow enforcement. The decision comes as community leaders and city officials have repeatedly called for greater oversight after high-profile raids sparked protests across neighborhoods from East LA to the harbor. If the judge imposes the new standard, local law enforcement partners will have to adjust procedures for any future operations, potentially reshaping how the federal government conducts large-scale removals in the region.
Lineage Logistics is racing to meet the city-mandated 45-day deadline to clear 93% of bulk food waste from its fire-damaged Boyle Heights cold storage warehouse after a rooftop blaze on June 17. Camila Arreola has the full story.
Workers in heavy gear are hauling pallets of rotting produce out of the charred cold storage building, racing against the city's 45-day deadline set after a rooftop blaze on June 17. So far, crews have cleared roughly 93% of the bulk food waste, using industrial vacuums and manual shovels to empty the debris-filled aisles. The fire left the steel roof caved in and the interior walls blackened, prompting officials to order a full cleanup by August 14th. As the final trucks line up at the loading dock, supervisors are double-checking that every container is sealed before it leaves the site. The effort aims to meet the city-mandated deadline and prevent further health concerns. Camilla Uriola, GMNA News, Boyle Heights.
The federal bench is poised to stop the Trump administration's push to take over Los Angeles County's primary homelessness agency. A judge in Los Angeles will issue an order this afternoon that suspends the administration's plan to suspend the county's lead service and replace it with treatment-focused programs. The court said the move was capricious and arbitrary, pointing to a lack of evidence that the new approach would improve outcomes. Officials from the administration had argued the existing agency was ineffective, but the ruling underscores that federal officials cannot unilaterally overhaul local service structures without clear justification. County leaders said they will continue to run existing outreach, shelter, and housing coordination while the legal battle proceeds. The decision comes as the city grapples with a rising homeless population and strained resources. Next, we'll break down the Glendale police arrest of 5 men in a mail and identity theft scheme. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Welcome back. Glendale police will announce today the arrest of 5 men suspected of operating a mail theft and identity theft ring out of an apartment building on the 500 block of West Colorado Street. Detectives opened the case after residents reported that unknown individuals were removing their mail from mailboxes. The investigation uncovered a scheme that used stolen correspondence to create counterfeit credit cards and commit fraud using victims' personal information. Officers say the suspects were taken into custody this afternoon and will face charges related to mail theft, identity fraud, and credit card counterfeiting. The department emphasized that the operation targeted multiple households within the complex, prompting a swift response to protect the community. Further details are expected to be released as the case moves through the court system. The arrests underscore law enforcement's focus on cyber-related crimes that exploit everyday services.
The proposed ballot initiative to develop affordable housing on the Santa Monica Airport site has been declared dead, ending proponents' push before the airport's slated closure. Julian Mercado has the full story.
Officials with the Affordable Housing Campaign confirmed Thursday that the ballot measure to develop the Santa Monica Airport property has been officially declared dead. The proposal, backed by community groups, aimed to secure a slate of low-cost units on the 1,300-acre airfield before the facility shuts down later this decade. Advocates argued the timing was critical, hoping the new homes would be in place as the airport winds down operations. With the measure now off the ballot, the future of the site returns to the city's broader redevelopment plan, which still faces a timeline tied to the airport's scheduled closure. The loss of the initiative leaves the housing question unsettled as the community watches the airport's final days. Julian Mercado, GMNA News, Santa Monica.
Firefighters with the Los Angeles Fire Department are sounding an alarm over a proposal that could trim the bureau's budget at a time the city is already grappling with a deep fiscal shortfall. The union says any reduction will lengthen response times and stretch stations that are already operating beyond capacity, putting lives at risk across the sprawling metropolis. City officials are weighing cuts across several departments as the municipal budget gap widens, and the Fire Bureau is now on the chopping block. Department leaders warned that fewer engines and reduced staffing could mean delayed arrivals on the fire line, especially in high-density neighborhoods in the Valley, far-flung districts. The debate continues this month, with council members set to review the numbers before a final decision is made later in August 2026.
Universal Studios Hollywood announced plans to install extra sound barriers around its new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster, a move aimed at quieting the ride for neighbors in the Toluca Lake area. Residents had raised concerns that the coaster's high-speed launches and rider screams would add to the neighborhood's evening noise level. The park says the barriers to be built this summer will absorb and deflect sound before it reaches nearby homes. Officials noted the project follows a series of community meetings where locals asked for mitigation ahead of the coaster's scheduled summer opening. Construction crews are set to begin work in the coming weeks, with completion expected before the ride welcomes its first guests later this summer. Universal hopes the added shielding will balance the excitement of the new attraction with the peace of the surrounding community.
5 suspects were arrested after a freight train robbery in Cajon Pass turned violent when one individual opened fire on railroad police, prompting a response from sheriff's deputies and state troopers. Noel Kirkpatrick has the full story.
Police say a freight train was hijacked early Saturday in Cajon Pass, near the intersection of Cajon Boulevard and Keenbrook Road. As railroad officers moved in, one suspect opened fire, prompting a rapid response from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and California Highway Patrol. A brief gunfight unfolded before officers secured the scene and took 5 individuals into custody. Officials confirmed that the suspects were linked to the train robbery and that the exchange of gunfire was limited to the one shooter. No injuries have been reported among officers or civilians. The investigation remains ongoing as authorities sort through the stolen cargo and gather evidence. Noel Kirkpatrick, GMNA News, Cajon Pass.
Now let's turn to the forecast and see what tonight's weather has in store for us.
A strengthening southwest jet stream pushes dry high pressure inland, quelling any lingering moisture across the basin. On this date, the all-time high reached 90 degrees in 2021, a brief spike during an early season heat wave that rattled the coast. The record low sits at 54 degrees, set in 2022 when a rare cold surge slipped down from the Sierra. Normal August highs hover around 84 degrees with lows near 72, so today's temperatures sit comfortably between the historic extremes, reflecting a modestly warm but not anomalous day. The radar screen is completely clear, confirming a dry atmosphere over the entire region. With high pressure building and the southwest jet stream aloft steering air masses away, no moisture is being lifted to form clouds or rain. This stability will persist through the evening, allowing the current partly cloudy sky to clear as the sun sets. With the radar quiet, we now turn to tonight's outlook. At 6 p.m., the city sits at 79 degrees, partly cloudy, humidity 59%, and a gentle 5-mile wind from the southwest. Pressure is near average and nudging upward, signaling drier, more stable air moving in behind the jet stream's swift southwest flow at 75 miles per hour. That upper-level stream caps any surface ascent, keeping the sky clear and the temperature steady. Overnight, the low will dip to 68 degrees, with a light breeze remaining below 16 miles per hour. UV index is 9, and wind gusts may reach 11 miles per hour from the southwest. No weather alerts are active. With the atmosphere set, let's look at the 5-day trend. Friday brings a high of 81 degrees and a low of 66, with overcast skies as lingering moisture from the Pacific pushes inland. Saturday sharpens into a clear sky and a warm high of 88, low staying at 66, perfect for outdoor activities. Sunday continues the clear pattern, climbing to 90 degrees at peak and cooling to 66 overnight. Monday edges slightly hotter at 91, low at 68, still clear and dry. Tuesday tops the stretch with a high of 93 and low of 68, mainly clear with only a faint chance of late-night cloud. The jet stream remains positioned to the southwest, preserving a dry, stable ridge through the period, and no alerts are in effect. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Up next, traffic delays from lane closures, the Dodgers-Brewers NLCS showdown, and a peek at Jazz Pop at the Hammer Museum. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes, the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Southbound traffic on North Santa Monica Boulevard is halted between the 5500 block and the intersection with Wilshire. The lane closure will remain in effect through this evening, forcing drivers onto the parallel southbound lane of Wilshire and onto the westbound Santa Monica. Expect up to 15 minutes of additional travel time in the west side neighborhoods of Hollywood Hills and West Hollywood. Further south, roadwork continues along Palos Verdes Drive south from Schooner Drive to the eastern entrance of the landslide area. Crews are operating a single lane with intermittent stops. That stretch will add roughly 10 minutes during peak hour, especially for anyone heading to the Palos Verdes Peninsula or the Marina. All other freeways and arterial streets are moving freely. No incidents are reported, and transit service runs on schedule. This afternoon, keep an eye on the Santa Monica closure and plan alternate routes accordingly.
Los Angeles will soon feel the pulse of K-pop as KCON 2026 rolls into town next week, turning the convention center into a 3-day celebration of live performances, celebrity panels, and fan meet and greets. For a soundtrack right now, head to the Hammer Museum where Malachi Whitson leads a free outdoor jazz pop set, a perfect backdrop for a sunset stroll on Wilshire. The free vibe draws families and the river breezes keep it cool. Art enthusiasts can still explore Anna P. Arvachki's solo exhibition at 1301 PE on Wilshire, a provocative mix of performance and installation that runs through August 15th. Her work challenges perception, making the downtown gallery a must-see this weekend. And if you're looking to dance under the stars, KCRW Summer Nights launches tomorrow at the Wen Museum, offering live DJ sets and open-air vibes for the whole neighborhood. Bring a blanket and let the beats carry you into the night. Those are the highlights shaping today's cultural landscape. And now here's Terrence with sports.
Tonight's lineup spotlights Dodgers, NLCS outlook, Lakers schedule, and Sparks' rising star. After a dominant wild card win that saw Roki Sasaki close out the Reds in the ninth, the defending World Series champs are stepping into a NLCS rematch with Milwaukee. The heightened competition forces Los Angeles to fine-tune its rotation and bullpen, setting the tone for a tighter series. Milwaukee's rising arms, highlighted by Jacob Messiorowski's poise in the fourth inning of Game 3, give the Dodgers a fresh challenge. Even after Los Angeles' recent dominance, the Brewers' home field edge and youthful fire could tilt the NLCS balance if the Dodgers slip. The Lakers' 2026-27 calendar spots 5 marquee clashes, from a showdown with the Suns to battles against the Celtics, Knicks, Thunder, and Spurs. Fans will watch how the Reeves-Doncic duo steers the club through those high-stakes tests and shapes a playoff push. Bob Iger cautioned that any talk of the Lakers' next chapter is premature, noting he and investor Josh Kushner haven't laid out a concrete plan yet. The comment at the Sun Valley Tech Summit on July 8, 2026, underscores the franchise's uncertain front office roadmap as the season looms. As the Dodgers chase their first 3-inning save of 2026, the podcast host reminds listeners of Brian Holton's 8-out heroics in the 1988 World Series. That historic moment fuels the club's search for a reliever who can lock down extended innings when the stakes rise. Rookie forward Monique Ekoa-Makani has quickly become a spark for the Sparks, delivering clutch free throws and aggressive drives since her August debut against Chicago. Her early contributions signal a potential cornerstone for Los Angeles WNBA aspirations as the season unfolds. Stay tuned as the season storylines keep Los Angeles buzzing.
Thanks, Terrence. At LA Mattress Store in Atwater Village, the family-run shop opened its doors after dark for a free sound bath session, turning the mattress showroom into a gentle wellness sanctuary. Soft crystal bowls and low-frequency tones floated among display beds, inviting neighbors to lie down, breathe, and let the vibrations melt away the day's stress. The event, organized by store owner Maya Hernandez, shows how a retailer can become a community hub, blending sleep expertise with a growing appetite for holistic health experiences across Los Angeles. It's more than a sales pitch. It's a reminder that even a place that sells mattresses can help us rest, recover, and reconnect right here at home. Stay tuned as we examine rising stingray sightings near shore, a direct result of the heat wave. We will be right back. Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news.
Welcome back. California opens applications for a new state youth environmental council, filling the gap left by the EPA's discontinued National Advisory Panel. The program launches today, inviting students statewide. Noel Kirkpatrick has the full story.
California officials opened the application window today for a new statewide environmental youth council, aiming to give young voices a formal role in policy discussions. The program follows the shutdown of the Federal National Environmental Youth Advisory Council, which fell silent during the Trump administration. Applicants must be between 14 and 24, demonstrate a commitment to sustainability, and propose projects that address local climate challenges. Selections will be reviewed by the state government in partnership with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, with the first cohort expected to convene later this year. The initiative seeks to fill the advisory gap left by the former federal panel, offering statewide mentorship and a platform for emerging leaders. Noel Kirkpatrick, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Rising ocean temperatures from a regional marine heat wave are drawing stingrays closer to Southern California beaches, leading to an uptick in beachgoer stings. Camila Arriola has the full story.
Stingrays are surfacing closer to the sand as a marine heat wave lifts ocean temperatures along the Southern California coast. Swimmers and sunbathers report a surge in unexpected encounters, with several victims feeling a sharp, electric sting while wading in shallow water. Experts say the warming waters are pushing the bottom-dwelling fish toward the shoreline in search of cooler depths. Beachgoers are advised to shuffle their feet and keep an eye on the sand, especially near popular spots where the water is calm. Local lifeguards have noted a rise in calls for assistance and are monitoring the situation closely. The unusual pattern appears tied directly to the ongoing heat anomaly affecting the Pacific off our coast. Camila Arriola, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Thank you, Los Angeles, for joining us tonight. From the brave response of our fire rescue team in Colombia to the new sound barriers at Universal Studios, we've covered a lot. I'm Renata Solano, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for more stories that matter.